Have you ever heard of a place where time itself seems to stop? In a forgotten corner of an old town, there stands a small antique clock shop. During the day, it looks ordinary, almost harmless. But at night, when the town falls silent, something inside that shop awakens. This is the legend of the Clockmaker's curse. The shop was ancient, built in the Victorian era. Inside, hundreds of clocks lined the shelves. Wall clocks, cuckoo clocks, pendulum clocks, all ticking in harmony, like a strange orchestra of time. But the townspeople whispered of a terrifying secret. At exactly 3:07 a.m., every single clock inside the shop would stop. And for a brief moment, the entire room would fall into an unnatural silence. Then, the ticking would start again, louder, sharper, almost as if time itself had just taken a deep breath before moving forward. In that town lived a curious boy named Arav. He had heard the stories of the cursed shop since childhood, about how every 50 years someone would mysteriously disappear, and soon after, their very name would fade from memory, like they never even existed. Arav didn't believe in curses. He wanted answers. So one cold night, he slipped quietly into the clock shop. The air inside was heavy with dust, the moonlight seeping faintly through the cracked windows. Shadows stretched unnaturally across the walls, and the pendulums of the clock swung back and forth, hypnotic in perfect unison. It was as though time itself was watching him. Then it happened. At exactly 3:07 a.m., every clock froze. The sound of ticking stopped. Arav's heart raced in the silence. And then, the old grandfather clock in the corner creaked open on its own. From within, a faint, unnatural light poured out. A shadowy figure stepped out, its face long and cracked like broken clock hands, its body moving with stiff, jerking motions. It whispered in a voice that sounded like grinding gears. "Time is over. You will take my place." Before Arav could scream, his body grew heavy. Invisible hands pulled him toward the open clock. His cries echoed, but the sound was drowned beneath the rising roar of the clocks. He was dragged inside. The grandfather clock slammed shut. When morning came, the shop looked normal again. The townspeople peeked through the windows. But in the glass of the grandfather clock, something was different. Inside, they saw a tiny human figure swinging with the pendulum. It was Arav, his eyes wide, his mouth frozen in a silent scream. From that day on, no one in the town spoke of him again. It was as though his name, his memory, his very existence had been erased. All that remained was his terrified reflection inside the clock. To this day, the legend continues. Every night at 3:07 a.m., the grandfather clock opens again. And now, if you dare to look closely through the glass, you'll see two figures trapped inside, Arav and the older ghostly soul that came before him. They swing endlessly with the pendulum, bound by the curse of time. The townspeople say that when 50 years pass, the clock will open again. Another soul will be taken. Maybe the next victim will be someone who dares to step too close. Or maybe, just maybe, it could be you, because time always collects its debt,